So,
Yeah.
can you tell me what the significance then was uh, of Trump going over there and the Jewish, I think it's the Historical Society, giving him that crown and being all close and buddy buddy to him?
In terms of declaring Jerusalem the eternal capital of the Jewish people, well, this was something that Jews already felt. Okay, but for some reason, the world considered Tel Aviv the capital because Jerusalem was under dispute. Because since 1967, we supposedly took it away from the Jordanians, and part of Jerusalem is in what they call the West Bank. All this because of Trump. So it shows that you show a little bit of power, and the Arabs start to respect you. So I mean, I'm a Trump guy.
Jews for Trump 2024.
I'm not
For
a
Brexit.
I'm not a any politician guy.
Well, I mean, if you're a religious guy, you should be voting your values.
None of them
Well,
carry the
I kind
values.
of feel him the same. I'm not a conservative or a liberal. I'm a monarchist because I'm under the King Christ.
All right, all right. Yeah,
Hey,
Yeah,
come
but
on now.
most of
Oh,
us, since most of us are
guys,
conservative, we do choose the conservative value when voting.
we live in a two-party system. If you don't vote, your kids are going to suffer. So vote your
Yes.
values. If
I
you're
hate to
What
tell
if
you this, but the kids are going to suffer either way, and they have.
what if we just all decided that we weren't going to take the lesser of two evils, and
then the
we
left would always
decided
win.
that we were going to be the people again?
Then the
That'll never
left would
happen.
always win. Then the left would
Then
always
you're
win.
going to get hit real hard.
I mean, think of how many people are in the United States. Come on, let's put a number out there.
350 million.
Oh, it's
350
the
million.
biggest
Great.
freestanding army still to this day.
I mean, do you think that we as a people can't just say that we're fed up and that's enough? And at
No.
350 million people come together and say, hey, we want to do a people's vote for what we want?
You know what? I was at the Capitol January 6th. Even the conservatives turned their backs on us. There's no mass, there's no unity even in the conservative movement. Vote your values or the left will always win. Okay? And there are degrees of suffering. This notion that you're going to suffer anyways, if you give the left power, they never give it back.
This
And if
is
you
this
think
is this is our problem because we need our unity back. We need our unity as people under God back.
Okay. So being that the left controls the public school system, the university, the media, that means that they have your kids to some extent. They're pulling them away from God faster and faster every day. If you don't defeat atheism, leftism, secularism, which is pretty much the same thing, there are going to be no people to unite with. So defeat the left, vote your values, and that would be like vote Republican essentially.
The Republicans are just the same.
Come on, man. I mean, that's they're
I'm
the
not.
same
I'm
as
not
Joe
kidding.
Biden.
They're just the same. They're just the same. If it
I mean,
means, if it
let's
means
be
a
honest,
dollar,
okay? Let's be really
if it
real right
means a
now. He ain't
dollar,
wrong.
suffer.
In life, the choice is typically not between what's utopian and what's horrific, but between what's good and what's better. Okay, to say that because we don't have a perfect system,
I don't agree
don't
with
vote at
that.
all, huh?
I don't agree with that.
Well, then I don't think you live in the real world. I mean, this idea that I'm not going to vote and just let the left win and take even more control, take your kids away, right? That we have to live in reality. It's about evolution.
I
not
homeschool.
revolution.
I
It's
homeschool. I do virtual school. I don't send my kids
really
to a place where they can lock them up and literally like
okay.
not allow me
Rabbi,
to
So
see my kids.
in places like Europe, they've made homeschooling illegal. The left has.
hmm
And if you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
defeat the left, they're going to make homeschool illegal here also. Like you don't know.
Yes.
Come on, man. It's
Rabbi,
about
can I add something to this that I
yeah.
think would help out? Is that this is literally the most perfect example of what you were talking about earlier about how, within Christianity they teach heaven and hell to condition. If we're conditioned from the media and stuff like that to not vote at all, then the left ultimately wins. It kind of applies to this right here.
The
Because
left won anyways. The left
it
won
doesn't matter.
anyways.
The whole point is
So
that you have
that's
to
the point,
try.
though. The
You
point
have
is
to
that the
try.
left won
But you also have to
anyways.
try to hear what
Even
other people
though
are
Trump
saying
had
too.
all the votes, the left won anyways.
It
There's
is the point of trying.
guys, there's degrees of suffering. Okay,
Yeah.
don't stop fighting because it could get a lot worse. You'll be
Yes.
jailed for even reading the Bible publicly. Don't you get that? They consider you a racist no matter what.
Right, and that's the thing that's so funny to me is why would they even hunt you down or propose that, right? If they don't believe the Bible's real and it's no more right than a Batman comic, what do they care?
Because it's a threat.
Control.
Yes, I mean, it's a threat to them. I mean,
Oh my goodness.
it's hard for me to believe that you guys aren't trolls. I mean, there's no way
Yeah.
that, I mean, if it feels that you're so heavenly good that you're absolutely no earthly good at all.
Definitely not.
Well, I mean, I hope that more religious people don't think like you do. Well, you're telling me our founding fathers who felt that the chances they had of defeating the British was almost impossible, but they did it anyways because it was the right thing to do. They should have said, you know what, it's all in Jesus' hands and not fought, right?
But
you know how silly that would be.
but they
right?
did.
Yeah,
but they did.
but they're
fight.
not in
They
the
fought-
end.
they fought
See,
against
we're
the
coming into a
tyranny.
time of history that's like no other. And
They
he already
fought
told
against
us
the
about
tyranny.
this
That is
time.
correct. They
Let me ask you a question, Asher. So you think like in current situation, left is the evil, or are you saying in general, religion is on the right side and evil on the left?
So what I typically bring up is based on generalizations. I typically have examples that follow my generalizations. In the vast majority of cases, our biggest threat is leftism, atheism, secularism. They're all the same. That's our biggest threat. Are there some religious people who make God look terrible? Absolutely. Are there some religious people that I wish would become atheists? Absolutely. Okay, but in the vast majority of cases.
But why you say that? What is the basis for that? I mean, are you saying left or atheism or secularism has been bad for humanity?
It's been misrepresented by all corners.
So, hold on. In the last 150 years, over 180 million people have been unalived by left-wing movements, left-wing atheistical movements. From Mao Zedong, Pol Pot, North Korea, the Soviet Union, atheistical movements. Movements that tried to reinvent the wheel ethically. Can you show me what good thing it brought to the world?
I mean, the science, freedom of religion.
Freedom of religion in atheistical countries?
No, in secularism. So I'm not talking just
secular.
about